Welcome back to the channel. It finally happened. I think we all saw the writing on the wall for G4 TV. Get woke, go broke happens again. And here to talk to me about that is Aaron Sparrow. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing well. Another one bites the dust, huh, Wes?
Absolutely. If these guys could only cope a little bit harder about this, Aaron, there are so many people associated with G4 TV, specifically Adam Sessler, just losing their minds, not learning a single lesson from the fallout of their company shutting down.
No, he's Adam Sessler is a lunatic. Let's just all be honest. The guy should have never been rehired. He wasn't, and I don't really think that anybody really loved him on the original incarnation of G4. He was always the most annoying aspect of that show. I think that he was just kind of tempered by Morgan Webb. So because people liked Morgan Webb so much, they somehow transferred that onto Sessler and believing that they liked him. And lo and behold, he came back and everybody was like, wait a minute, I don't like this guy.
It did not work out for them. They made some bad hires. And Comcast is shutting down G4, its gaming-centric cable and online channel, effective immediately. Comcast Spectacor CEO Dave Scott told staff in an email at the revived G4 the channel was being discontinued, effective immediately, citing low viewership and unsustainable financial results. This is only 10 short months after network host Frosk told critical audiences, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Always a bad play, if you ask me.
Yeah, the problem is you say if you don't like it, don't watch it. You don't like it, don't read it. Customers tend to go, all right, your proposal is acceptable, and they walk away. And then this is what happens. And a lot of people lose their jobs. A lot of people who had nothing to do with the stupidity, they get to go home and explain to their loved ones that they don't have a job anymore because you had to be selfish and you had to have your moment of activism, your moment in the sun, your viral moment. Well, you know what? Your viral moment, it went through the entire body and killed the whole thing.
Yeah, it went viral, all right. You know what's insane? They were only getting 1,000 viewers for their show. I believe that was on cable. Then if you look at YouTube, before she had that meltdown, the viewership wasn't too bad. But once that happened, you could just see it died almost immediately. And my show, and my channel is pretty small. I don't have a brand name like G4 TV or anything like that. And I certainly don't have, 20 or 30 employees associated with my channel. I was getting more views than they were.
This is the problem, Wes, is that, you sitting in your living room with no millions of dollars behind you, no corporate structure, just a guy recording in his living room gets better views than this big production that they put on. And yeah, you're right. Before Frost's rant, they had, their numbers were okay. They could have probably built on it. The problem is there's just all around, they kind of picked the wrong people to be on the show. The focus, I think, from the very beginning, if Frosk is to be believed, and I don't have any reason to think that she is, but let's just play devil's advocate and say that she is. She said that she was told from the beginning how this was going to be, a really diverse and inclusive G4 to correct the past. Well, the problem is you're depending on nostalgia, and the people that are coming in to watch the show don't see anything wrong with the past. They liked what they had before, and they're like, yes, please give me another. And when they arrive and you give them something completely different, you give them some, quote unquote woke bullshit. That's gonna kill viewership pretty fast. And once you have Frosk go on a rant, yeah, everybody's done.
All those meetings specifically empowered Frosk, I guess, in her mind, that she could go out there, attack the fans, condemn them, tell them what they're doing is wrong. And I guess she thought she was going to have some backup on that. She actually talked about it, how the people at G4 never actually ended up supporting her after she made her infamous rant. She said, then I asked for help multiple times and was ignored or directly lied to about support coming. No guidelines, no plans, no help. Then management changed and it became openly hostile. Probably not understanding that they had to change management because they empowered her to do something stupid, kill off all the views, and they had to bring new bosses in to see what was happening. And obviously they were going to be pissed knowing that she was directly responsible for the demise of the channel.
Absolutely. You have to bring in new management when they're rubber stamping stupidity like attacking your customers. We keep talking about fantagonism as a marketing ploy. And yeah, it gets you a lot of clicks. It gets you a lot of attention. It gets YouTubers a lot of clicks. So, it's good business for YouTubers, but it's not good business for the companies that are actually going out and attacking their customers, lecturing their customers. You have no right whatsoever as a company, as a corporation, coming out and lecturing anybody about anything. Every corporation does a lot of shady shit. You do not have the moral high ground in any sense. And for you to think that you and a bunch of activist employees can come out and tell your customers what's what, that's going to bite you in the ass every single time. Because you know who controls, you know who's really in charge? It's the customer and their pocketbook. And when they walk away, you find that out real quick.
Shockingly, Frost seems pretty mature by comparison to Adam Sessler, and the way he's responded to this, I've got a few tweets that he put out, a few pieces of vitriol that he sent out to some of the customers that he blames for the demise of G4, not really seeing his own part in the shutdown of the company. He said, and to those misguided who need to send vitriol, go right ahead. I'll keep taking your hits like I have for 20 years. I'll still be here just caring about the good people who got jacked. Talking about the people that got fired, not realizing it's kind of his fault, a little bit more Frost, but certainly Adam Sessler has a part to do with that, and them getting fired, but never taking any responsibility for it.
No, you would think that in 2022, he would be a little bit nicer, a little more self-reflective, to use Frost's words, and maybe figure out that he was part of the problem. All those people that are on the unemployment line, he bears a certain percentage of the responsibility for that because of his inability to just be a normal human being. You know, the guy online, he just comes off like a complete lunatic. Obviously, he's very bitter. He's very unhappy. He's lashing out at people constantly on Twitter. He sees boogeymen everywhere. The guy should probably seek some mental help. But as we all know, these sorts rarely ever do that.
You know what he hasn't done? Learned a single damn thing about everything that's happened over the past year with G4. He continued, do you fuckwits have one writer who only knows one rhyme? Get woke, go broke. Also, like a real adult, unlike your mom, I have multiple incomes. Go fuck a sheep again, you desperate Nazi. Doesn't feel like he learned anything, and he's out there just disparaging people some more.
No, I think that any company that is employing Adam Sessler should take a good, long, hard look at whether or not they want to continue to be in the Adam Sessler business. Because I feel like any company that depends on any kind of public support, once someone finds out that he is drawing a paycheck from them, the backlash is not going to be worth anything that he's contributing. And I don't think that he's really, I don't think he really contributed that much to G4. He was always annoying back in the day. I always found him just extremely grating. And like I said, he was only tempered by how much everybody loved Morgan Webb.
Well, and he blames G4 as well. It sounds like he didn't enjoy working for the company. I wonder why he decided to go out there and disparage their fans. This is the final thing that we'll talk about from Adam Sessler. Big shout out tonight to those that run G4 for making my life more miserable than usual when I have been barely working for them in the first place. In for a penny, in for a pounding for your bullshit.
Yeah, that's really telling, isn't it? The fact that they made his life more miserable than usual. He's just a miserable human being. He wakes up every day and he's angry. He has no hope, no joy. This guy's he's just lashing out. I don't know. I hate to make value judgments on people, but I feel like Adam Sessler is probably a real piece of shit to be around.
And he has no accountability. It's always somebody else's fault. It's the customer's fault. It's G4's fault. It's everyone's fault but Adam Sessler. And then he can't take the heat once it's time to get out of the kitchen.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like, narcissistic, almost sociopathic behavior. It's everybody else's fault. It's never me. I'm the hero of my own story. Everything I do is right, and I'm the victim here. How many times do we see that? And those are the people that, for some reason in the last few years, they keep getting opportunities and they keep failing. I think eventually we're hitting the point. I feel like we're pretty comfortably hitting the point now that companies are starting to realize that Twitter's not a real place. The people that rant on Twitter are losers. They don't have any money. They're not consumers. They're just people that bitch and complain, and to ignore them. And Adam Sessler is definitely at home on Twitter.
And the worst part about all of this is there are people, young professionals working at G4 that appear to look up to Frosk and Adam Sessler and are emulating their behavior online regarding the shutdown of G4. This is what UCLA esports director and G4 development intern Ryan Nakato had to say while he was lashing out at customers. Unfortunate that this will be tied to right-wing incels complaining about wokeness being the downfall of a network which pursued content in the age of shorts and Twitch. He continued, by the way, it isn't wokeness that killed a failing millennial-focused gaming network. So please keep your incel complaints on how the internet is soft to your 2012 Gamergate era. We do not care about you being bigoted in a Call of Duty lobby in 2012. You're crying about humans being normal, huh?
That's really the big problem, is that these people think that they're normal. They live in their little bubble, their little Hollywood entertainment bubble, and the only other people they talk to are people who are in the same business as them, who never take time to step down from their ivory towers and actually interact with real people and regular society and their concerns and the things that they find important. They're just all in their little groups all smelling each other's farts, as they say. And this is what you get. This is what you get, and this is what you get when you hire these people. You know, there just needs to come a huge culling of all of these companies where they go through and they're like, are you here to work or are you here to be an activist? If you're not here to make us money, if you're here to grandstand and you're here to, like, you know, make your little political points, there's the door. Get out. What we need is we need people who have a capitalistic mindset that are like, hey, how do I make the company money so that I can make more money, so that I can move up, so that I can be more successful? That's the attitude that we need to return to. And until these companies do it, they're going to continue to just dump millions and millions of dollars down this stupid social justice hole.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see all this stuff happening. They're ruining so many companies. And obviously, if you're a Disney or you're an HBO Max or something like that, you can withstand a lot more losses when it comes to customers because you've built up a big enough customer base that you can have a little attrition and it's not going to destroy everything. But when you're a G4 or a small company like that, you can't afford to hire these people. They're toxic. They're going to kill your brand and they're going to drive customers away on purpose. We're seeing it in comic books. We're seeing it in entertainment. We're seeing it on YouTube, everywhere. It's absolutely insane that it's still going on.
Yeah, you know, your larger companies, your Warner Brothers, your Disneys, they can absorb it to a certain point, but we're definitely seeing it hurt their bottom line as well. We're seeing the MCU falter. You know, Thor was not a big success. It was filled with a bunch of, you know, garbage humor and political messaging, and you know, you had people out there saying that it was the gayest movie ever. Well, you know, that's going to keep some people away. And you can say, oh, those people are bigots. No, you know, just some people are just not interested in that content. And they're going to steer clear of it. You know, we saw Bros fail, and we saw him go out and attack the you know, the customer base. Do you think that that's going to drive people to the theater now in the second week? Now that you've come out and said that if you're a homophobe, if you don't see this movie, everybody's going to go F you, and they're not going to see it. You know, and they're probably not going to watch it when it comes out on you know, on video on demand, which maybe they would have before.
Twitter is not a real place. Too many companies are relying on what they see and hear on Twitter to drive the direction of their companies. You can satisfy Twitter, or you can actually satisfy customers. You can't do both. I've talked about this in the past. If you haven't seen this video, this conversation, I made this one specifically for you. Definitely check this one out right now. You can't see it here. There's also a link on the video description.